and welcome to A Girl and Her Phone. I'm Kim. You are no doubt here for the summer dessert while I'm following MYWW. That's what I'm following, the blue plan. I've been working at it for a while. I have ups and downs, but I don't give up. And I'm glad that you have decided to come here and spend a little bit of your time with me. This collab is being hosted by Heather over at Heather Rose Up, and I thought it was such a good idea because that is one of the things that helps me during the summer is to have some go-to desserts, mainly some cold desserts. Summertime is when we like to jump in the car, ride down to the ice cream stand, get all the good stuff, all the big points. Y'all know the ones I'm talking about. Right up to the Sonic, pull in and get something up there, because you know they got good desserts up at Sonic. The peanut butter fudge sundae, good. So that's one of the things I like to do, which is why I'm bringing you this recipe. It was last summer sometime. Blue Bunny, whenever they came out with them, Blue Bunny came out with those little sundaes in a cup. I don't know if you've seen them in the store, but you probably have. Well, first of all, they're expensive. And second of all, they are super high in points. I meant to look it up before I started recording, but I didn't. I got it from, it was maybe 26 points. I will put it on the screen. As from the store, it was like 26 points for that little cup of ice cream, but it was so good. And I told my husband, one of the things I like to do is, especially back when the kids were home, we would go out. We couldn't afford it, so it was a treat. We would find something we liked, so I would come home and say, okay, how can I make this where we can have it at home? Maybe it won't, obviously, be just like the restaurant, but it'll be good enough to where we don't feel deprived and we feel like we're getting a little treat. I had to do that with this sundae. I told my husband, I cannot keep eating these sundaes, even though I have my treat on the weekend. Cannot do it. So I got together my stuff, and I came up with what we absolutely love. It is a close enough clone that it gives me that flavor, that fix. And it is their salted caramel. It has the caramel and the chocolate and the salt. So that's what I'm going to give you today. Now, you have to be sure what I tell you in our collabs, you got homework. Your homework is to go down the description box and go see everybody else in this collab. I personally cannot wait to get some new desserts to go to during the summer. I like to have a sweet that is affordable in the points department. So you go and visit everybody because I know there's going to be a whole bunch of good stuff. And again, thank you to Heather Rose Up. Be sure and go see her. And let's just go get started making some ice cream. COPYCAT, blueberry. Hold on, I'm going to wait on my cousin. That's what happens when you live in a little neighborhood, when your family right down the street. Blueberry, salted caramel, sundae, COPYCAT. I think that's what I'm going to call it. At home, that's what I call it. I don't know if I should. Can I say Blue Bunny? Even though it's not Blue Bunny, I don't know. I bet I can. Okay, let's go get started. I hope you enjoy this. Thanks again for showing up to my channel. And if you haven't subscribed, I would love to have you. I have a very supportive group of subscribers and I sit out here on my porch a lot. If you have been here before, you know we have lots of traffic here. But I have a very supportive bunch of ladies and men. I know some of their husbands, they kind of get in on the action too. They like to eat. So consider joining me. I'd love to have you. And I'm going to hush it up now. We're just going to go make some ice cream. Okay, let's go ahead and get started making our sundae. The first thing we want to do is to crush some pecans. I have them in halves. And we only need 2 teaspoons for each sundae. And so whatever we don't use, I can put right back in my little container. I just take a jelly jar And just press them down to whatever size you want. Okay, let's just set that aside. Put that in there. Now, we're just going to build it. I always use these. I didn't buy them for this collab. I bought these actually for the last collab I did, which was a corn salad. But this is what I always put our sundaes in anyway, because the blue bunnies are in little clear containers like this. And so that's what I always bought to put them in. That's what we always ate them in. Kind of give it a little bit more authenticity. I use the vanilla bean halo top. Half of this is for one, and since I always make 2 at a time for me and my husband, I just use the whole thing, so that I'm going to go ahead and do that too, because he is patiently waiting. I've let this sit out a little bit to soften it up. It might could go a little bit longer. Anyway, now you can weigh and measure this if you want to. I just don't. I just kind of eyeball. So for each one, a quarter of the container will go on the bottom. Whoops. Okay, it feels like the bottom has softened up, not the top. Let yours sit out a little bit longer than mine has. So put about a quarter cup. I think this is a cup. So about a quarter cup in the bottom of each one. Now it has, let me get my rag here, chocolate and caramel. I'm going to do the first layer, okay, of chocolate. Now, you can have 7 grams for 0 points. Normally I do up to 21 is a point, but I'm going to see what we think. And if 7 grams looks like enough, then we will save ourselves some points. I do believe okay. Looks like I might have more ice cream in this one, but it just comes out in the wash. And then we're going to add 1 of our teaspoons of pecans on this layer. Okay, then the other half of the ice cream. Okay, you can do a better job eyeballing what is a quarter per layer. Now the next is our caramel. These are the Smucker's sugar-free syrups. You don't have to use sugar-free if you don't want to. I personally, let me shake this one. Usually it kind of separates. It's the sugar-free caramel. I can't tell the difference in flavors. I really can't. See, it flows a little bit. Okay. Since that one already went over the 7, I'm going to give it more. As long as it doesn't go over 21. So at least we saved a point by stopping at the 7 for the chocolate. Now, this is how we finish them off. One more teaspoon of pecans, 11 Lily's stevia chips instead of the little, let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can't talk and count at the same time. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11. The Lily's dark chocolate, the stevia chips, I just keep mine in a container so I don't have the bag to show you. And then the final is just kosher salt. Coarse kosher salt, just a little sprinkle. Is salted caramel, so you need the salt. Don't forget the salt, but don't overdo it. You want just that little bit. And there you have it. That is my COPYCAT Blue Bunny Salted Caramel Sundae. We got this one down to 6. Big savings. You can enjoy yourself, have a nice tasty treat, and not break the bank. So I hope you enjoyed this collab. I enjoyed sharing this with you. I think you'll like it. If you like salted caramel and chocolate, I think you'll like it. Give it a try. And thanks again to Heather over at Heather Rose Up for hosting this collab. It was a really great idea to get all of these summer desserts together. So go visit Heather, go visit everyone else, and thanks for coming by. And please consider subscribing if you haven't already. I would love to have you. Have a good one.